Welcome. This video will cover an essential topic of the economics of technology, and it is not just of academic interest from the standpoint of futurism, but it is one of the first principles that you should really internalize if you want to make a lot of money from the technology sector, both as an investor and as an employee or an entrepreneur in the technology sector. It will enable you to identify opportunities of higher probability and to also get closer to the spearhead of all economic growth. So if that is of interest to you, please continue to listen. We go to my Atom publication, which if you have not read it, you should, because it is ultimately the foundation of a lot of emerging thought on the new economics of technology. And within that, we go to chapter 3, titled Technological Disruption is Pervasive and Deepening. And within this chapter 3, we're going to go to one particular subset of this chapter. And that is the diffusion of technology throughout the economy, through the consumer, and how the rate of diffusion is indisputably accelerating because of faster and faster speed of adoption. So I click on this chart to make it big. So this chart is from the website Our World in Data, which is a very good website for a variety of charts such as this one. And what we're looking at over here is the technology adoption for US households and how much time it took for each technology to get to a certain percentage of adoption. And as we see, this rate is accelerating. Now, this chart is also limited in a couple of ways, in that the more accurate chart would be a worldwide chart rather than a US only chart. But unfortunately, nobody makes worldwide charts, certainly not going all the way back to 1860. And the second limitation of this chart is that it does not include enough software-based product categories, because those diffuse faster, and for that reason, under the principles described in the Atom publication, software becomes a larger and larger percentage of all technological diffusion and a larger percentage of the entire economy. So this chart understates the speed of consumer technology diffusion on two fronts: US instead of worldwide, and insufficient recognition of software. That being said, the accelerating trend is still quite apparent. Look at how early technologies such as electricity access, running water, vacuum cleaning, and refrigeration took several decades to get to 60 or 80% diffusion, whereas much newer technologies such as tablets, ebooks, and others have occurred much more quickly. You get from 0 to 50% in the matter of a couple years. Same with ebook readers and so forth. And this chart does not even include things like the smartphone, which replaces landline phones featured in this chart, or streaming video, which replaced discrete video units such as VHS cassettes and DVDs, and a whole host of other technological diffusions. The accelerating rate of change is quite visible over here, and the accelerating speed of economic growth is also very closely correlated to this. Now, the reason this is important is that you can kind of judge what estimated expectations of diffusions are for new technologies in the event they were to succeed. Now, there are a number of technology product categories that have not fixed the core problems for their market, such as AR, VR headsets, which has been a failure in the last few years. I am involved in a company that has potentially fixed the problem that has prevented AR, VR headsets from succeeding. But because of the speed of diffusion of any technology that ultimately finds success being so much faster than it was a century ago, we know that the first high quality product that works in a particular sector, such as AR, VR, will go from 0 to 50% in an extremely short time, just a few years. The same goes for if they can perfect something like autonomous vehicles, self-driving cars. They're spending a lot of years in trying to fix that, and they've not been able to deliver a truly high quality, highly dependable product. But when they do, since that is almost entirely a software-based solution, the diffusion into cars will be really, really fast. It will go from 0 to 50 in just a few years when that eventually occurs. If you are early in your career and you wish to try and identify super high growth types of companies to join at an early stage and to stick with, and industries through which you will make contact with a lot of other people who are going to have careers in technological disruption. These are dimensions of which you can think about to evaluate the various opportunities that come your way, and also what types of job categories you may wish to pursue, such as product management, engineering, venture capital, things like that are career fields in which you could be closer to the forefront of disruption and therefore increase your probability of a large wave of money coming your way. There is always some element of luck involved, but these are things you can do to increase your probability. This also tells us a lot about the future. Elsewhere on my blog, The Futurist, and on other videos on this channel that we are soon going to be putting forward, there is a discussion about how this accelerating rate of technological change ultimately becomes so fast that it reaches a speed that can be considered human surpassing. That is known as a technological singularity, a concept first popularized by Ray Kurzweil. However, he has not published much about that very recently, and I have in fact published more with quite a few precise dates about when that event could occur, what it could look like, and what the range of high confidence and low confidence is around the date. Now, if you go to the Futurist website, you'll see my forecasts on that going back about 11 years, and I will also be turning those into videos on this channel. But the faster and faster rate of product diffusion is something you should keep your eyes peeled for, especially since it gives you some visibility into the mega trend of technology, especially in a software-heavy product category. When the diffusion is really fast, then you can see more about the types of low-tech categories that get displaced with high-tech, such as brick-and-mortar retail going to e-commerce, landlines going to smartphones, VHS cassettes and DVDs going to online video streaming, and now universities and high schools also being unbundled and replaced with online learning, for example. These are all dimensions you should think about in terms of all the first principles of technology and how all these technological disruptions are interconnected and part of the broader megatrend. And we'll have a lot more about this topic in future videos. Now, if you like this type of content, and this channel is very, very new, in fact, the first video was under 10 days ago, I would encourage you to become a subscriber and also hit the like button, the upvote button down below. That will help bring more visibility to these videos and also enable more production of these types of videos at a faster and faster rate, and eventually a greater education about the new economics of technology and the accelerating rate of technological and economic change will diffuse throughout the world, which is necessary given how at the moment society and governments are not cognizant of any of these principles and are misguiding all of us at great opportunity cost to everyone all over the world. Thank you for watching.